What's up, Legion? Welcome back to I Still Call It a Lariat. We are a pro wrestling podcast. We are the best pro wrestling podcast in the world being recorded at this exact moment with these two guys. Today we are going to be reviewing Progress Chapter 185, Jump in the Line from October 26, 2025 of the year of our Lord. With me to review it, my name, of course, is Steve Zapf. I almost forgot that part. I am your fearless leader. And with me to review Progress, as always, my good friend of the channel, back with us as always, Mr. Brock. Brock, how you doing today, brother?
Wonderful. Happy to be back, man.
I'm happy to have you, man. Like this, we were talking just before we came on. I really love everything that Progress kind of does, and this was another shining example of a good show. What was one of the highlights for you?
Actually, surprisingly, and not to be sexist, I don't rarely say this, the women's match.
I did love that women's match.
I'm such a Rio fan now.
I really like Rio. I like that match all around. You know what else I really liked was the Atlas title match. It was your favorite wrestler, Will Cruz, versus one of my favorite wrestlers, and that's Charles Crawley. I love that dude. That dude.
That was my first time seeing Crawley because he wasn't on the card last time.
No, he's something special. So let's get into it. First of all, they were back in the Camden Electric Ballroom, which I love that building. I love the way it looks. I love the way it shoots. People embracing the Halloween spirit, obviously, with it coming up. And they open up the show with a women's tag team women's tag team match between Hyperactive and Lali. What did you think of this match?
Well, I'm coming in cold. I took it Lali was pretty big. And Hyperactive was new. It was their debut, right?
Hyperactive was they were debuting with them. Lali, it's weird. They confuse me a little bit because they're supposed to be heels, but the fans kind of so clearly want to cheer them. So it's a little touch and go with me there. But
the minion thing didn't help. I was confused. They were lovable.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say this though, for this match, and it wasn't super long. It didn't need to be super long. But it was a fun match. There was a bit of comedy in it, but they still had some really great wrestling in it. And I think that's where it is it wasn't bad comedy and it wasn't bad wrestling on top of bad comedy. So sure. I think that's always some of the things that I critique on modern wrestling, I think is I come in, I'm like, well, this is bad comedy. Well, this was not bad comedy, and the match itself was pretty good. So I don't have too much to be mad about with this match. Hyperactive reminds me of Spitfire from TNA, Jody Threat, and I forget the other girl's name now.
Do you want to hear a funny story about me and Jody Threat?
Always.
So when I was doing stuff with Ironheart Pro, I was ring crew and doing the podcast, and I walked in early to a show, and they were like, Brock, we need you to give someone a ride. I was like, all right. And like Jody Threat got in my car, and I didn't know who she was. But I knew she was the star that we were bringing in. And so I drove her around for a day looking for tanning oil. So I went from Cub Foods to Walmart. We had a wonderful conversation. I got to know her quite well. We spent a good hour driving through the south suburbs looking for tanning oil.
She seems like a nice lady.
Yeah, she was really nice. But go on.
Brock, what did you think of the ending for this one where Lana legitimately slips on a banana peel? Because I really like that. I don't know why it bothered me.
The thing I loved with the bananas, they kept calling it a street banana, right? They were like, that's a street banana. Like, it was the real thing. Watch out, people. And, like, I think they even made the line, like, there's only so much potassium you can take.
Yeah, they really...
So, like you said, it was smart humor, like, this is dumb but funny. Like, and they went with it. And the banana peel slip caught me so off guard.
I was not expecting it.
Yeah, I had to double take because I was like, she didn't hit her. And then I was like, oh, that was funny.
Yeah, and they're like, she literally Mario Karted on
Mario
the
Kart.
banana peel.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like, and I'm sitting here watching it, and I popped for real. I was like, this is great. I'm so happy about this right now. So once again, progress, good job, nice start to this. This was a nice little wholesome family style match to start off the show, because they get a little bit more serious as the show goes on. And Hyperactive ends up winning this after Lana Austin slips on the banana peel. So the next match on this card, Mr. Brock, is Owada-san versus Gene Money. And I know you like those guys too. This match I had written here has a lot of potential to be really good, and it started off hot. I think this was the best match I've seen from either one of these guys over the last couple of months that I've been able to watch the two guys, both of them in different scenarios. So I think they're both very good. I think they throw a lot of really cool stuff. Owada-san hit that really cool swinging fisherman neck breaker at one point. That was pretty sweet. And I Gene Money just has character. He's okay with being kind of a less than serious guy, which sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. You can draw money with being a less than serious guy. But what did you think of this match, sir?
So I was happy we got some insight as to why his nipples are taped, and I don't know if you caught it, but they said his ever-sensitive nipples once he ripped it off. I thought the commentators were cracking me up a lot with the dialing in the old radio.
Oh.
They kept grabbing each other. So that was great. I like what you say. He's kind of a goofy character, but he still has like respect in the room.
That's what I'm saying.
That's kind of he's like an OG. He has the respect, and even throughout the match, like he has his dignity throughout it. Somehow, even with taped nipples.
Even with the taped nipples.
Yeah, I'm a Gene Money fan, and even the ending was hilarious.
Because he's that's his that's his identical twin brother from the orphanage, and he screams, "He is family." I loved it. It's and Owada-san goes along with it, so good for him. You know what? That just proves that he's not too cool for school.
Yeah, I liked it.
Also that Ainsley Lariat that Gene Money does, that's a pretty nasty looking Lariat that he throws. I'm impressed. That's our namesake, and I'm gonna go with like that was nice. I was proud of him. All right, so we start getting a little bit more serious in match number 3 of this card. We get Mulligan, who is debuting at 6'7". He's a big dude against Simon Miller. Simon Miller obviously kind of has some of the most reach on anyone out of Progress. I say it every time that he does the What Culture stuff and a bunch of his own YouTube stuff that gets pretty popular. But this was not bad. Both these guys can move really well. And Miller cuts a good promo in the very beginning and rushes Mulligan. What did you think of I mean, this wasn't the longest match in the world either, but what did you think of this one?
It was longer than his match the week before.
That's true. It was longer than last month, which this was the retrieval for this one. Yeah, against Josh Holly. Josh Holly went and found Mulligan.
I liked the quick start when he was talking him up and then said, "Sorry, but I'm gonna have to break your ribs." Because then I love that it came full circle at the end with the spears, where he just took him out and like he was no more. Those ribs were crushed. He said what he was gonna do.
I do like that. I like the foreshadowing. Yeah. And both these guys are kind of true heavyweights too. Both of them are big dudes that are, you expect them to throw some muscle around and as they say later with the Atlas title, just some man meat slapping, if you will. But yeah, Miller wins definitively with 3 spears and a jackhammer. And then Mulligan appears to turn kind of face when Josh Holly slaps him around at the end and face washes him. So he gets up and choke slams him. But
That's a
not
big choke
bad.
slam.
It was a real nice choke slam, actually. I'll give it to Josh Holly. He took a nice choke slam, and Mulligan gave a nice choke slam. There's something about Mulligan, though, his look. There's something missing there, and I don't know what it is, and I can't put my finger on it, but like he's got one, like he looks great. He's big, he's strong, he moves well. I like his gear. I think there might just be something missing from his gear or from his overall appearance. I don't know if maybe he just needs to get bulkier. I don't know what it is, but there's just something. And he looks young, so I mean he's got time to do this, but there was just something there that I didn't dislike the match. I don't dislike him. It was just something I was like, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing something isn't here that should be here, and I can't even put my finger on it just yet. So I'm looking forward to keeping watching them, though, to see if maybe I can figure that out. And I mean, realistically, I'm going to keep watching progress because if for no other reason, it is my favorite form of watching pro wrestling at this point. I enjoy this more than anything that we have in the States currently. I'm sorry, outside of Mr. Brock's matches. Mr. Brock has officially had his first official match. I'm throwing it out there. I will be talking more about it towards the end of the show, but congratulations again, Mr. Brock, and I'm going to keep an eye out of my friend and brother over there. Yeah. And Brock, now we got probably both of our favorite matches. The women's world title match. Rio defending against Rain Leverkusen. I had to say that. I had to make sure I said that one right. Rio is on a really impressive run going into this match. She's been winning titles, women's titles, men's titles, respect. But you said this was your favorite match on the card, so I'm going to let you start it off with this one.
We talked about Rio a little bit last time. I think we kind of touched on she just has the look. And there's something about her that I don't know. It reminds me of just like a boxing match almost, that she just comes out as the top fighter. Like a Mike Tyson. Like really like untouchable. And just like backs it up with smooth, graceful, just strong. Right? Just straight up strong. And it's so damn believable she's the champion. I think that's really what it is. I'm like, I don't want to won't touch her. Jeez.
I thought this match was so good. It started off with some really good chain wrestling. I love that they because most of the first three matches before this, they kind of started off a little quicker. I feel like this, they took their time to tell the story, and I really appreciated that. Also, both of them just laying in their shots like that. Like those were some solid hits that they strikes and moves that they were nailing with. I disagree with the commentators on one thing during this match. The running moves into the corner from Rain, I don't think those were headbutts. I think they were running European uppercuts. And it was just bad camera angles, realistically. But that's just me. But like I said, they still look good. I will say this. I the one critique I have of this match, and this is anyone who is new to the business, young in the business, a rookie, whatever you want to say. I hate it when wrestlers are on the outside and they're absolutely dead, and then at 9 they pop up and sprint into the ring real quick. I hate it. I would like. It's the only issue I have with this entire match. The rest of the match is this is the best version of what modern wrestling could possibly be right now. Was this match? I thought they did such a good job keeping their stuff in tight. I thought they did a really nice job of telling the story, and even the finish where Rain wins by reversing Rio's finisher. and the crowd just loses it. They like, I love that when they have title wins, the crowd is allowed to actually like walk up to the ring and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. That's something that I wouldn't mind seeing an indie promotion around here adopt a little bit too.
Yeah. Okay, and I had never seen that before, and I was like, wow, that was cool. And then I didn't know if that was a thing that other people had been doing.
I've never seen it in any other promotion except for here, and I think it's so cool, right? Like it's like like if you saw that out in Minnesota, like that would be a really cool thing. Like, oh, like
it's rushing the field when your team wins.
Yeah,
right? That's what you do in sport.
And they do it with almost every title win, because they did it with a few months earlier when man like DeReese won the world title, won the heavyweight title. They all like rushed the ring for it. So I really like that. That's a cool little nod to them. I like.
That's beautiful. And I mean, I'm sure you experienced it many times in like the indie scene. Like there's a lot of times the title changes hands and it's so anticlimactic that it just breaks your heart.
Right? Absolutely. And this was not that. This was
this was, and here this is a funny, well, it kind of, I took a little bit of the fun out of it for myself. I was trying to, because I was bouncing around as I was watching these and going back to them. I had accidentally went too far ahead, so I saw Rain with the belt. And I was like, no way, how did she win? And so like I'm watching this match, and that's what kind of made it more fun. It was like knowing the ending, I guess, and being like, there's no way. Like I can't see how she's gonna pull this off. Like legitimately believing that the whole time. And it was the perfect ending for that's how she did it.
I mean she won it with a shock, and she won it with a wrestling move. I love that ending. Yeah. I love that she just rolled it up and kept it so tight.
Well, that's a shout out to the one we reviewed, British Bulldog and Bret Hart, right, at SummerSlam.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. Yeah, like you said, she reversed. So it's not like she kicked out of Rio's finish either. She reversed the finish into that. I like that Rio hands her the belt and hugs her. This match was epic. This is, like I said, Legion, if you are looking for the best version of modern wrestling, and especially modern female wrestling, this is it. This was not just a great female women's match. This was a great match.
So with this match, you touched on something I want to go back to. And remember, I'm always coming at this as a new wrestling fan who really is learning so much about the storytelling and all that. So I have constantly like the entertainment perspective of like, entertain me now. That's what I like seeing, the big blitz and glory, right? The mark, right? As I'm sitting there. And so I remember when this match was starting and I'm watching the chaining, I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying this because it's very good wrestling. But like, I bet this is kind of boring to some people. Like, I was wondering if it was going to be boring. And then I was like myself, like, I want to see something bigger. But then like, it wouldn't have been good without that. It needed to have that build up. And it goes back to, I always think back to when like, I like begged to be done watching The Godfather after like hour and a half with my friends. I was like, this movie sucks. I'm so bored. Like, just wait. And then you see the end, and you're like, beautiful. I needed to see every second of that for it to be as beautiful.
That's always my thing is, and these two proved, I always say, like, who's telling the story? Are the fans telling the story, or are the wrestlers telling the story? Well, the wrestlers are telling the story to the fans. Mm-hmm. I mean, do you know that, Curious George finds his way back to the house even when you're a little kid? Like, no, you don't know that until you read the whole story. If you cut off the beginning, like you said, how do we know why he's lost or something like that? And I realize I'm using a children's book as the example here, but to quote the great Bully Ray, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Like, you have to, it's not hard to tell the story. They started it. They started it well with that chain wrestling, and then they moved into still heated, intense wrestling, and then they started throwing shots at each other, but they were still mixing in actual wrestling moves and like just hard hitting, impactful, physical wrestling, which again, that's kind of the the staple of what people hold towards UK style of wrestling is that it's always very, very technical, but it's also very, very impactful, physical, if you will. So I like I said, the only critique I could ever have is I hate that like pop up at 9. But outside of that, this match was chef's kiss. Brock, let's move on to the Atlas title match. This is your boy Will Cruz defending the Atlas title against I don't know if he's my favorite. He's definitely one of my favorites from Progress, and that is the twat, Charles Crawley.
I was wondering if that's what they were saying. Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
it's England, so
Yeah, he's the twat. The fabulous twat, I think it is, or the spectacular twat.
Yeah.
But he's one of those guys that absolutely gets the performance aspect of things. And he, like you said, he wasn't on the last show, and I'm a big I think he spent about a month or so in Japan, and I think he definitely trimmed up while he was there. He looked a little more slim and trim, which nothing wrong with that. And this match was harsh, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean Charles Crawley got the hell knocked out of him in this match, and it was a little rough to watch sometimes. I mean, he got pounced out of the ring.
The belly bump out of the ring was great.
Yeah, the pounce out of the ring. And then I would have liked to have seen Charles Crawley almost not in this match, just because I want to see them push him a little further up the card, and having him just get destroyed by Will Cruz is a little bit not where I wanted to see him. But at the same time, this match was still very entertaining. They definitely did some cool stuff in here. Brock, what did you think of this outside of, just the fact that I know you love Cruz? This is, he did do some big power moves in this and stuff like that. Like, definitely did some stuff that was fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm noticing the expressionless more now that you brought it up and trying not to. But it works. I think it still does work with kind of the Baby Huey thing. Yeah, I was gonna say with the Charles Crawley thing, I think I probably got gypped on my first time seeing him because he was great. I didn't get to see a Merry Trickster Twat really though. They kind of set up at the beginning. He was gonna mess with him, like, is this what he does? And then it just went into good fighting. I liked Charlie's wrestling on. I love the Crowley cutter. It's just so quick off that rope.
Cutter. I love the stuff that he was doing. I'll tell you this: go back onto the app or the page and watch High Voltage. High Voltage has a 4-way with him in it. Yeah, High Voltage is him, Simon Miller, Bullet, and Paul Walter Hauser in a 4-way match, and that's a really good match. And Charles Crawley has one of my favorite spots in the whole thing. And for a guy who loves serious wrestling, it's a comedy spot, and I absolutely love it. But Cruz wins this match pretty handily. But it seems as they really showed that Charles Crawley had a lot of heart in this match. He never really gave up. He was always in the fight in some way, shape, or form, and I appreciate that. So they take their intermission. They come back from intermission, and we have the new friend to the show. I get it. He's kind of a jerk in the arena, but for us, Charlie Sterling is a friend. I like Charlie Sterling, and I still hold true that Charlie Sterling from the floor up is a star. He's a star. He is an international star waiting to happen, as far as I'm concerned. He looks good. He works good. He cuts a good promo, and I love the worth every pound tagline that he has. It's so good. He says he's here to fight. He beats the hell out of one of the ring crew kids until Simon Miller comes out and spears him out of his boots, and they set that up for the next show. I'm kind of excited for that. I'd like to see Charlie Sterling. I would like to see, because the last couple times I've seen Simon Miller, I haven't gotten to see a real good representation of his in-ring, and I'd really, really like to see what he does with Charlie Sterling, who works a really, really good match. But what did you think of this promo, Mr. Brock?
Well, one, I love what Charlie was doing walking around the ring, and interacting with the fans. That was fun. Like, I wish I was there. And I wish I was that ring crew guy. That was great. Yeah, I definitely a superstar in my mind. But I think again, Miller is great too. His line that killed me was, "I don't have hair, so things get into my brain better."
Yeah,
Right? That just, I don't know, that I'm definitely excited for that fight as well. I was kind of sitting there like a little kid, like, yeah, you guys should
yeah.
fight.
It's kind of has a feel of two big stars that are about to go at it. Like, I know there's no title or anything involved, but I don't know if they need one between the two of them.
No, that's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, and I think we only have to wait about 2 weeks for that one. I think their first,
Is that the 16th or the 30th?
Yeah, I think Progress's first show is on the 16th, and I think that's when they're.
Yeah.
I think that's the one from. Or no, I think that's the one where they're back in the ballroom, and then they do another one that's called Noisy Neighbors, because they're going to be in like the building adjacent to the O2 Arena.
I like it.
I do. I love their names sometimes too. This is, like I said, I have a lot of fun watching Progress. This makes me get to be a fan of wrestling. I don't have to take it so seriously. All right, so we get the world title match next. Man Like DeReiss versus Lio Rush. I'm not the biggest Lio fan, and I never have been. I respect what he can do in the ring, and I thought when I thought it wasn't, before I realized it was going to be the Blackheart gimmick, I was a little excited about this, because the two of them would have been able to. This would have been a high-paced match that was just. It would have been a lot of action, and I kind of wanted to see a lot of action out of this. And then when he came out with the Blackheart gimmick, it was, I don't know, I maybe it's just a me thing. It felt like it took away from the match a little bit. But on a happy note, I will say this: even I love Man Like DeReiss's and theme music. I love that song. It gets stuck after I see him walk out, I get the song stuck in my head.
Yeah. And I don't know if I wasn't paying attention during the last one, but that was the first time I got to see him rap. I guess.
Yeah. He does the rap during it a little bit, but
yeah.
What did you think of this match just overall? Because, like I said, I don't want to be too critical of it, especially if you really liked it, but it just wasn't my favorite of what this match could have been, I guess.
So for this one, it was a good match. Like, that's like, it didn't, and I liked the intro. I liked the setup, but then it was I don't want to say forgettable. It was entertaining. It was just a match. It was a mid-card match. I felt like nothing really stood out that much from it. That's what I'm saying. But that's just, and again, it's like, again, I was halfway through it. Maybe it was just stuck in the middle, and then went on to the next one. I don't want to be critical of it, because I'm the last person who should criticize either of these men.
I don't know. I think like I said, it's that Blackheart gimmick. Because he doesn't fire back while he's doing that. So like the babyface is taking control of the match the whole time, and it's, I don't know, it's a little hurtful at that point. Like, it almost made DeReiss seem like he's the heel, even though he's not the heel. Like, he had to just beat on Lio at certain points. Lio kicks out of the 450 at one point. I know some of my problems with Lio Rush in the past is that he is a small wrestler. He is not big by any means. He's like 5'6" and like 150. And it's, there's little things like that where at some point I'm gonna break you, dude. Like that, like someone will break you. But I really appreciate that Darius hits a pile driver and wins with it. He stays down for a pile driver, which thank God someone did, because I don't know anyone that stays down for pile drivers anymore, because that's not that they don't do that in American wrestling anymore. Um, but and then the end with the title being covered with the blood and the feathers from Cara Noir. They're going even further into this whole thing. And I believe it's at Noisy Neighbors that Cara Noir and Leo are going to have a match now following this. So I'm sure they've revealed on their Twitter account, their X account, whatever you want to call it, that was definitely Cara Noir doing it. And moving on from that, Mr. Brock, we get our main event of the night. The main event. It is a 3-way tag team ladder match for the Progress tag team titles. Lyco's Jim, who's had some cracks in their teamwork, versus Diamond Eyes versus Sunshine Machine. And I'm going to let you go on this one a little bit. What did you think of this ladder match?
I mean, to start with, I'm not the biggest ladder match guy, but that doesn't say anything. I loved Sunshine Machine. They were quite entertaining. The tightrope walker guy, Mumba? I can't remember his name. Mumba, right? Very entertaining. It was a ladder match. I mean, it was a good ladder match. I'm not a big hardcore guy, and I don't consider them hardcore. Obviously, I mean they're not, but it kind of took the realm of that.
So I knew this match was going to have what we refer to as Jamokin. Basically, there's 6 guys involved in this match, but at any given point, 4 of them were on the outside of the ring, while 2 of them were just doing stuff on the inside of the ring. It's just something that happens in wrestling nowadays. It's kind of the evolution of what modern wrestling has become. But one thing that Progress does very well, I'm not always a fan of constantly doing a ladder match or a table match or a hardcore match or a street fight or whatever the hell you want to call it. But Progress, when they do a table match or they do a ladder match or something along those lines, if you notice, they didn't really break out any other furniture. You didn't see a bunch of chairs in that. You didn't see them break out tables. You didn't see them all of a sudden find kendo sticks somewhere, or barbed wire baseball bats. Which, why are they in the arena to begin with? It's things like that. Like, they made sure that the ladder was the most important part of the match, which I really appreciate that about what they do. Is when you do a gimmick like that, a table or a ladder or anything like that, a chairs match, whatever it is, like, that part of that gimmick is supposed to be the most important thing. Like, that's supposed to be the scariest part of the match. Is, well, the titles are up there, but we're using the ladders. The ladders are what we're using. We will jump off the ladder. We will hit each other with the ladder. We will slam each other onto the ladder, whatever it is. But like, they use I think it might be one of the things I really like about Progress just in general, is every time they do something along this line, they make sure that gimmick is the most important part of whatever their gimmick match is. But we get new tag team champions with Diamond Eyes. They kind of set that up. I believe it was 2 months ago, if I recall. Yes, 2 months ago. As far as Lyco's Gym really having some cracks in the seams. And like I said, it wasn't a bad ladder match. It was okay. It was okay. This was not the best main event I've seen from Progress, even though it was a relatively good ladder match. But I'm still really excited for their next couple shows. I think we'll get a lot of really good stuff out of them soon. But Brock, overall, what did you think? Now that we've gotten to the end, what did you think of the show? Just overall, broken down. Anything you would have done without? Anything you would have been happy to hold off even?
Gosh, I'm gonna be the worst critic because I just don't have much negative things to say. I'm very entertained the whole time. Um,
I,
I was thinking, what is it that makes me so entertained? I think they put a lot of effort into their character work, more than I see on a lot of indie scene. And I know a lot of people do it great, but it's from the second they come out that curtain. There's like they do a good build of each character. By the time they hit the ring, I have a bit of an idea of who they are, right? And I'm
yeah.
coming in cold to all of these. So that's why I really like it. And usually I'm not a person who loves a big promo entrance, but like it's done really well with them. Where like as we go throughout their matches, each one I'm like, yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah, that's my favorite actually. Like when we go back and start talking about it, because there's something. Yeah, all the characters. There's just not one that has. I haven't seen too many bland ones, right? I feel like bland is common, unfortunately, but um, Progress just seems every character is like, oh, you could be a star, and that's
I
probably why
really like what they're doing, and I agree with you. I love everything that they're doing. And from now on, every time when we review, I'm gonna make sure that we have the link for the on demand progress page on here, so that Legion, if you're not watching progress, honestly, you're kind of missing out on some of the best pro wrestling in the world, as far as I'm concerned. This has a little bit of everything. We get good technical stuff. We get good kind of, like you said, a little bit more on the hardcore style with some of these ladder matches and things like that. We get good character work. We have, we have good comedy stuff. I don't know what they're doing wrong right now, because I don't think they are doing anything wrong. I think they're just a really well-oiled indie company right now. A high-end indie company, if you will, but they're still, they're not the WWE, they're not AEW, they're not New Japan, they're not MLW even. They sit over there in their part of the world. And you know what, Brock? I think as the Lariat Legion continues to join, I think you and I might need to take a trip over to Jolly Old and catch a Progress show.
Well, I thought of that like day one. I'm waiting for the invite from them, man. I want them to fly us out.
I hope they do, man. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they would. At the very least, if they don't, you know what? Even if they don't fly us out, I could see them maybe putting us up in a hotel or something for the night or a couple nights.
I'll stay with Will Cruz. It'll be fun.
You love Will Cruz. So Brock, before we close out everything, you got anything else coming up for any of your stuff? I'd love to get some of your promotional stuff out there to the world.
Well, yeah, been on a hiatus for the last month or so. Getting back to training again next week, because we got MAW's huge show of the year, Grand Slam 7. We got Carlito coming out, the Great Muta. He's here right now. We got a lot of sweet stars coming out. We got a huge match. AEW's Top Flight's taking on our big guys around here, Royal Flava. They actually previewed it at AEW back in March. They had that match there. So exciting wrestling this weekend. It's going to be all hands on deck. And then we're going to hit the November and December lull. But starting in January, I have talked a little bit to promotion that's been wanting me to come out for them, and it's a good one. But I got to be a better wrestler. That's what I say. So I want to finish my year. My year training will complete in December. I'll keep doing more at the academy with Mr. Kennedy. But starting in January, I think I'll start making some moves in the indie scene around here.
Very cool, very cool. And then maybe make a trip to Florida to wrestle down here and see your friend.
Cool. Free room and board. Whether it's you or Will Cruz, I'll take it anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, you can absolutely always stay with me. You know that. Oh man, but so that was Progress, chapter 185, Jump in the Line, which is, of course, is a great reference to Beetlejuice. But Legion, thank you again for watching. As always, we appreciate you. If you like what you're hearing, what you're watching, hit the like, hit the subscribe, comment. As Showtime says, tell a friend. If you don't have any friends, tell a stranger. We are starting to sell our merchandise with our new flat brim snapback Lariat hats. So if anyone is interested in one of those, please make sure to message us in any of the emails that are down below. And as always, guys, remember, please tuck your chin when you bump.